Hello again and welcome. It's another week. It's Wednesday, time for Pearls Paranormal. All right. I guess you can see that I'm a little slow tonight. Not that I'm not slow on a lot of occasions, but I've been watching this series off and on all day long and halfway sleeping through it, and then it's been watching me. And so I'm just kind of a little lethargic, I suppose. Yeah, because I just woke up about an hour ago and had some coffee to try to wake me up. However, it hasn't kicked in fully yet. So I'm going to try to talk the team into doing maybe a 30-minute show tonight. Because in our description for the show tonight, I really wanted the rest of all of our team here, and Ziggy is not here tonight. So I'm going to save that for next week. So let's get started. Bringing in the rest of the team, the heartbeat of the South, and my son, Tim Harrington. Hey, Tim, what's behind ya?
Hey, Mom, how's everybody doing? Just
Uh,
a little paranormal activity.
oh, yeah, yeah, trying to get into your house. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that. Well, I tell you, you pretty much heard how I feel.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, so we are live. I'm in Facebook and oh, I forgot to do the Twitter thing. I always I need to tweet tweet that button and get people in here. All right, so we do have the CC girl in here herself, Kathy CC Carson. Hi,
Hi,
Kathy.
Hey, Captain.
Team.
Hey, how are you tonight, Kathy?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Yeah, the weather's starting to warm up, so we're getting out of the snowy temperatures, which is
Good,
great.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, yeah. I think I'm still lethargic from that 8 day snow in that we had.
Mm.
God. But
hmm
anywho, I am glad that you are fine tonight because you're going to be the star of the show.
I guess so. I guess so. Well, you want me to just go on the fly
Going to
and
fly
just talk?
because wait, we're gonna get out of here. It's just we're making our stance, making our appearance, let people know we're still alive and well and kicking, but we're not gonna stay an hour tonight. Okay, guys?
All right.
Okay,
How
that
does that
sounds
sound? That sound good?
agreeable. Agreeable.
Okay, great, great. Okay. Kathy, there's a hot new topic that's out there in the world today. What's going on?
Well, Elon Musk announced that his Neuralink was just put in a human brain. So the surgery yesterday was successful. And too bad Ziggy's not here, but he's having issues with his laptop. But he actually sent me email with he follows Elon and with a link to Tesla, which they talk about all these things as well. They talk about the Neuralink.
Ah,
So yeah, let me go into what it's about and what it's meant to treat. A Neuralink hopes to use its microchips to treat conditions such as paralysis, which of course we know that James is dealing with because he had the stroke. So he personally, has had a chip implanted, which I'll talk about in a moment, and blindness, and to help certain disabled people use computers and mobile technology. The chips, which have been tested in monkeys, are designed to interpret signals produced in the brain and relay information to devices via Bluetooth. So all they
mm-hmm,
have to do is think of it, see?
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm,
it's supposed to happen. But in a way,
mm.
it's kind of scary that some a chip can be put in your brain and everyone can hear what you're thinking too, if that is the case. But it
Telepathy,
says,
kind of like a modernization of telepathy, huh?
yeah. And experts have cautioned that Neuralink's brain implants will require extensive testing and stuff like that. That was back in, like, I think last spring. So, but yeah, see, they've been putting microchips in people for a long time, and not necessarily in the brain, but between you and I and everyone out there, I've actually had one in my
Oh,
put in my head. And remember, I told you
wow.
about that because I also had, ET experience with UFO and everything. So I'm not sure if it's just relating to that, but A dermatologist actually removed it out of the top of my head. At first, it was a bump, and my hair was growing weird. And it was there for a good 5 years. And this was right after that incident. But anyway, and they pulled it out, and they said they were going to send it to a lab. And the dermatologist said she'd never seen anything like that before.
Yeah, I remember you telling us something about that when we first
Yeah.
started the paranormal show.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
while ago. That's why you didn't recall. But I also met somebody from Denmark who had a twin brother in Hollywood. And he said, and this was like the year 2000 or so, or just before then. And he said he had a chip implanted in him, in his brother too. And he had worked for the CIA in Denmark and had them implanted because they knew too much. And
Mm,
they had his brother, they actually put him in a mental ward because they didn't want things to happen. And he escaped. And he was actually living in a park in
wow.
Hollywood. And he
What?
said that they could track him with that chip. And that was
Yeah.
that was 5 years ago.
Yeah, I remember about 7, 8 years ago when they were talking about putting microchips in children for identification and
Right.
purposes in case they were kidnapped, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
And the question was then, what people, what was the public opinion? Would people want to do that? And how would you feel about having microchip, put in you for identification purposes and that sort of thing? Well, from an identification purpose standpoint of view on it, I would be okay with that for the simple reason is that
Hmm.
normally, they use the most modern, well, the old modern way of identifying remains by dental records. Okay,
Hmm.
but everybody doesn't go to the dentist, and then you've
Hmm.
got older people who lost all of their teeth and should you need to identify them or try to identify them, and they didn't have teeth, they just got, they wore false teeth. How would you do that? So,
Hmm.
from that perspective, I wouldn't have a problem with the
Hmm.
microchip, with microchipping just under the skin, somewhere, not where somebody wouldn't know. I mean, they would need to offer probably a category of maybe 11 or 12 different places that they could put it on you. And
Hmm.
whereas everybody would know where to look, for and remove your chip, right?
Right.
I would think that the person or the person's family would need to decide which location on the body they would like to have it. But
Right.
yeah, that's what I think about that. What about you, Tom?
I was just sitting there thinking about that. For some of us, those that who have served their country may already have a chip in us.
That's true. We don't know what they inject in us. Seriously.
We did
you
not.
you're a
And
Kathy, right?
yeah, and to take it a step further, they wouldn't even need our permission because when you sign up for the
You give
military,
up your rights.
you are their property.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hi,
so
James. Hi, Ziggy. We miss you. We're gonna get
yeah,
you in here for next Wednesday. Go ahead, Tim.
yeah. So I mean, I went in '95, so I don't know if they were using it then, but I would almost be certain that they're using it now
Yeah,
Mhm.
most
because it's a
definitely.
little bit more familiar. And
Yeah.
usually, when it comes to guinea pigs, it's usually the military or prisoners.
Right.
Unfortunately, they are the first two that become guinea pigs. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's really something to think about if you served in the military.
Yeah. That's possible. Very
Yeah.
Well,
possible.
well, right on Wikipedia, it says in the United States, they're trying to regulate it in certain states, because it says that they made laws, to make it illegal to force a person to have a microchip implanted. Though it says politicians are aware that there have been cases of forced implantation. There have been
Hmm.
cases, so politicians are aware. It says it right on Wikipedia.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
So,
I as I say, I don't have a problem with the implantation part, but I just think that it should be with a person's permission.
mm-hmm,
Whether it be military or not, I think they should still ask the person.
mm-hmm,
Um, you know, because yeah, I understand. The government already controls too much of us, and that, and that's where the difference. And of course, this could be a topic for tomorrow night on politics, but this is where the difference in opinion crosses the line between Democrats and Republicans. Is because Republicans don't want we know Republicans have a general view that the government already owns too much of us and already controls too much in our lives, and they need to take some steps back. Whereas Democrats seem to want more control over each individual. So I just think they should ask.
Well,
right.
yeah, in China they are actually using the implant.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
I've
probably where the
seen.
U.S. got it from.
Yeah, yeah. I had to think back, and I remember seeing some commercials where they were. I mean, not commercials, but ads that were
Mm,
showing that they were using it with their banking system, and I probably for a couple
I
of other
saw
things.
that. Yeah, they just wave the arm or
Yeah, they just
whatever.
waved on.
Yeah, I saw
Hmm.
that. I remember that. That was like last year.
Yeah.
It's been really recent too.
Hmm.
And so Elon, um, his is different for different purposes. Am I right? His is for medical reasons. Is that right?
Yeah, he said he mentioned autism, but I don't know if people like that. So now he's mentioning more about disabilities. See,
Hmm.
he started it in 2020, and Bill Gates actually. Their foundation actually funded MIT to develop an invisible micro needle patch to store medical information under the skin where they die. So, see, there's been
Hmm.
a lot of stuff going on, and I don't know
Yeah.
how you feel about Bill Gates at the moment.
Bill Gates, huh? Well,
Yeah.
Bill Gates has contributed a lot by
Mm-hmm.
bringing in technology because we probably wouldn't be able to do what we're doing right now, broadcasting live,
Uh,
without his, technology advances and what have you. Um, and people like Bill Gates, they're just modern day, I would say more than modern, advanced explorers
well,
Mm-hmm.
into the unknown,
well,
which is kind of in touch with paranormal. Tim is bursting to say something.
no,
Tim,
I want to stand corrected on that Bill Gates. Bill
okay,
Gates bought the pattern to the internet. He didn't invent it.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
he purchased
but
it.
but the buyer is the one that controls what happens with it, with the product.
Well, yeah, yeah, we can say that.
Yeah, he could
But
have bought it and just kept it to himself.
yeah, but a lot of people think that he actually invented it, and that's not true.
I
Yeah.
understand.
Right.
They actually went so far as to say they think that he might have stolen it. So,
Absolutely.
and
I wouldn't
a
doubt
lot of
that.
these, a lot of these 1%, who
I,
knows what
I,
happened?
I wouldn't doubt that. I
Have
really
they
wouldn't doubt that.
taken from us, the meager
Well,
inventor?
it's kind of like the story with the Facebook guys that was in college together.
Yeah.
There was
Mm-hmm.
this one, it was like four of them, and one of them uh, sued Zuckerberg back here about 10 years ago or 8 years ago and said that Mark was the one that stole the idea from the other three of them, you
Oh,
know,
okay. So
that it
maybe
was
it was Mark Zuckerberg then that, the issues with, not Bill Gates
yeah,
necessarily, but then
yeah.
wasn't Bill Gates involved with the Epstein thing? So how can, if he was involved with that, I know it's a separate
I
issue.
have not looked at that list yet. Tim, was his name on the list?
I can't recall off the top of my head. Because it's
Because
a
I
couple.
remember his wife divorcing him over those issues around the time of his
Oh,
Oh,
wedding.
really?
no.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, some people they said had an opportunity to contest their names being listed on the list.
mm,
So he
Ah,
might have been amongst those few um, that took advantage of their situation, blocking his name off of the list.
no.
Uh, Usually, most of those society people in that group function, they usually mingle in the same circles and
Mhm.
whatnot.
Birds of a feather flock
Yeah, flock together.
together.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be far fetched at all that he, partake or went to
yeah.
the island.
Well, I heard
Mhm.
that, Tesla, the guy who invented all that, might have been murdered for his
Uh-oh.
ideas and stolen. Those are some controversy.
There's
Uh,
been a big recall on his cars too about something.
Yeah, a
yeah.
lot of things going wrong
Hmm.
with
There
that
was
Tesla.
something wrong with that Tesla car.
Well, one of the things just what happened not too long ago, they weren't able to charge.
Oh yeah.
When the weather got as cold as it got, the owners come to find out that they were unable to charge their vehicles.
I think that was what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big
Uh,
thing because none of the charging stations that they supply, none of them worked. So you had a bunch of cars that were stranded out there
and that snow and
in
ice.
the snow
Ah.
and at the recharging center. So even if they were able to make it to the charging stations, none of them worked.
So why don't people just stay at home when it's really icing bad outside? Whether you have a Tesla or a hoopty.
Yeah, I've never been one that some people put their job over everything. I've
Yeah,
never I've never been one that I've
me,
always put myself first.
me too, Tim.
Uh,
Because hey, that job is gonna be there if I go out there and drive, try to drive carefully, but unfortunately hit a tree and kill myself. It's my fault. My
yeah,
job is not gonna claim responsibility for that.
absolutely, absolutely. I lost a job on a situation like that.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
because I was in one part of town and it was way across. It's basically
Bad.
was in another city.
Mhm. I
So
understand. That was one reason why when I most of my jobs, that's why I've worked for every level of government that there is, federal, state, county, and city, because with those entities, you
yeah,
earn vacation days and sick days.
yeah,
And I would always use my vacation days when it was bad weather. I was not going to work. I wasn't going to even go out there and try, right? So yeah, but and unfortunately, though, private companies don't. A lot of them don't give their employees the flexibility to have those days. As a matter of fact, it was something I heard. Cause I mean, this could probably be on tomorrow night's show, but I'll go ahead and say it anyway. Um, UPS, United Parcel Service, is laying off 12,000 people, and they are requiring that the remainder of the people who are working from home report come back into the office or else. Can you
I heard
believe
that.
that?
Yeah, now they're getting like real Nazi like.
Yeah,
wow,
right. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, all right. That's just gone. Y'all gone berserko out there, right? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
People
yeah,
got to work, and people. I mean, you got technology where people can work from home. Why you want to take us 20 years back and make people come back
Exactly.
in and work? You're not paying them enough. People can save money by working from home. And not only that, the company actually pays them less when they do work from home.
Oh,
yeah,
Because,
so
you see
money,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because they deduct what it would cost the company to pay them to come in. They actually would give you a little extra money, hourly to come in because of your gas, your time, traveling. to wear and tear on your car and that sort of thing. And then, of course, when came with the COVID thing and had to start working from home, they actually did not get their raises. They didn't get those regular 6 month or quarterly or annual raises. They just kept their salary where it was, 2 years before COVID, right? So they're
Right.
already still paying them less than they would have made coming into the office to stay at home. Why would you want to make them come back in at the salary that you're going to pay them?
Well,
Because you got to,
yeah.
I
Not
mean,
only
it's
that,
crazy.
but the travel time, it wears people down. And because sometimes in those heavy traffic areas, you can sit, because I know I lived in LA, and 2 hours just like trying to go like 20
Hmm.
miles.
It's all
So
Yeah.
about control. It's all about control.
that's what
Yeah.
it is. That's what I'm saying. It's about control. They want the people back for that reason. It's not for any other reason.
Yeah, they want to be big brother over everybody because they really
Exactly.
can't big brother you
Right.
that as much as they want
Well,
to when you're at home.
well, you know what they're really gearing up for, and it's very close. It's a lot closer than we think it is. A lot of those jobs in hubs and warehouses is going to be obsolete because
Robots,
they have the
robots.
robots.
Yeah.
I think they're actually using some in New York as we speak.
They've been using them for the past 10 years in car manufacturing. That's the reason why the cars are so defected and they're
Right,
having so many doggone recalls on these cars
right.
and
So that
automobiles
right.
and
So
and trains and planes. That's why they are wrecking.
right, right. So you know when you look at that, you have to look how much cost saving the company would be saving. When you're talking about personal insurance, PTO days, vacation time,
Hmm. Hmm.
um, whether they can have a robot that pretty much can work 24 hours a day.
24/7, don't have to
Yeah,
have a break
yeah,
and don't have to have a lunch break either.
yeah.
Don't have to eat or
Yeah,
sleep.
so my advice to people that are working in that field, they might want to be looking for either retirement or going into another sector.
What I encourage everybody to do is look. God gave you a gift, a talent of some kind. You just need to find it
Yeah, and
and
tap into it.
and work for yourself.
Yeah,
Start working for yourself. Don't punch a clock for anybody. Punch the
right,
clock for yourself. You know.
right.
And I'm so thankful that I am not in that position, whereas I had not yet retired. That
Mhm.
if I was
Okay.
still out there in the workforce,
Yeah,
I would. I don't know what I would do. And I understand. I don't know. I know they don't know what they're gonna do. And that's frustration. And when people are going, we already go through enough stress in life. Physically, paranormally, and every other ugly,
mhm.
right? Any kind of
Right.
anomaly that's going on, we're experiencing it. But to have to worry about your job security, that's like the big kahula dropped on you, right?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
So let's get back to Bill Gates and his implants. we got
Oh,
we got
okay.
we
Sure.
went we
Sure.
went on the politics. So we can't help
Yeah.
it. We can't help
That's
it, y'all.
okay.
We just
Yeah, it's okay. So, yeah. So anyway, just to let you know, as soon as I looked up nanochip online, it says the first experiments was with a guy named Kevin Warwick, as far as chips.
mm,
Um, and it was the first experiments were with a radio frequency identification. It's called RFID implant, which was carried out in 1998 by the British scientist Kevin Warwick. His
mm,
implant was used to open doors. So, this is how long they've been doing this stuff. I'm
mm,
telling
Right.
you. Switch on lights and cause verbal output within a building. After
mm.
9 days, the implant was removed and has since been held in the Science Museum in London. So, they say that real life is
Wow.
stranger than fiction. When
Mm-hmm.
I met that person in Hollywood, he told me everything you see in the movies, actually, a lot of it really happened. Like the
Mm-hmm.
Schwarzenegger, when he played the Terminator, he
Mm-hmm.
said it actually happened in Denmark. And they actually
Wow.
saved the remnants of it in a police station and it was stolen. He told me all about drones before people even knew about drones. And he
Mm-hmm.
said after you he gave me his email, but I didn't communicate with him very often because he said it could be dangerous. And he
Mm.
told me after this, he said that you're going to see men in black. And as soon as he said
Ooh.
that, I went to my apartment to, I was a distance and I saw two men in black, just like in the movie, walk into my apartment building. And I never seen
Ooh.
that before. So everything he said has turned out to be true. He said they made drones as small as insects to spy on people. He said
Mm.
people can walk through walls like the invisible man.
I
And,
believe that because
and
I could
yeah,
sworn over the past year that I've seen shadows of beings,
yeah, I believe it.
like for a split second, and then I'm like, what was that? You know, and
Well,
because I'm
after,
thinking it like it's a ghost or spirit of like, who are you? You know, but you
yeah,
might be right. Yeah.
not only that, but they say, and some of these tarot readers even say that the government actually puts chips in you. They do it. They can be invisible and actually come into your house and do what they want with you. Experiment, put chips in you, and everything. And a
I
lot of
believe that.
these
Yeah.
psychic readers believe that. And what
Hmm.
was so weird when I was in my apartment, I kept getting these really eerie feelings after I saw those men in black. It
Mm.
wasn't just that the wind was blowing and twigs were hitting against my windows, and I was in a old apartment, that
Yeah.
the Hollywood movie stars used to live in. It was just my knowing that that they can come in here anytime and do
Yeah.
anything to me. They can come back and I don't even see them. They can knock you out and then
Yeah.
while you're sleeping, put something on your mouth, knock you out. And they have these chips, according to these readers, that go in your eye. And they
Mm.
actually put them in your eye so they can see everything you're looking at. And they can spy
Yeah.
on you that way.
And
Yeah.
then the thing about that, okay, to hold that thought, Tim, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
when people go into the hospital
Mm-hmm.
and, if you have to have anesthesia, that's when they can do anything they want to do. They can put anything in you that they want to put in you,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why when I would go to the dentist many, many years ago, and I need to go now, I would never let them put me under any gas or put me out or anything. Because I just wouldn't know. I would be by myself and I wouldn't know what they would do to me. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
hypnotist. I don't want anyone, I don't ever want to see a hypnotist because I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what the hypnotist would plant into my subconsciousness. Now, I
Yes.
know hypnotists claim that your subconscious would not absorb anything that is not already embedded in you, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
believe that. I don't believe that at all.
Mm.
Yeah.
Tim, back to you.
I was just a lot of the stuff that we see in the movies, they say, they try to spoon feed us to it because that way your subconscious and your conscious won't panic. You've already seen it,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
right? So with all of the things that we have going on, I would have to agree with it because it's just so much going on. It's got to be real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Mm-hmm.
got to be real. And then the thing about it is, with all of the technology and the information that we have to process now with this internet, um, the question is sort of like, well, why wouldn't it be real? You know, some it was a teacher that was talking about the kids today, um, processing the information that they get so much of it on the internet, right?
Mm, yeah.
But you say what happens was they took out critical thinking in school. So they don't know how to process what they see, and that means that their attention spans are just a hot jiffy.
A nanosecond.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nanosecond.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
They
mhm.
started reaching. I mean, it's. I could be old fashioned. In fact, I am old fashioned. But I think that in elementary schools, the only thing they need to teach in elementary schools, from talking about grades 1 through 6, is reading, writing, and arithmetic. That's all they need to know
Yeah,
at
and they
that
did away
age.
with cursive. No cursive. They don't know how to read it and they don't know how to write it.
They don't know how to do cursive right. They took that out of school.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You know,
talking about.
I
yeah.
did. I
So
didn't know that.
that's all. Yeah, they took that out 2 years
Wow,
ago. Two
Yeah,
years ago. It's now required that a kid knows how to
that's
cursive
crazy.
right. And
Wow,
that's why I say it. And if they had stuck to the basics, reading, writing, arithmetic, these kids would be in a much better position than they are to be able to critically think for themselves,
hmm,
mathematically figure things out, and
right,
then as well as their cognitive ability. And your cognitive ability develops, and that's the main thing. Cognitiveness helps you to learn how to socialize with people, how
right.
to work your problems out. Reading, right, arithmetic helps you to figure out problems,
Yeah,
and so it helps the cognitive ability of a child to help a child be able to socialize better, because the child will know how to figure out a dispute, right?
right.
Reading and writing will help a child to be able to understand, to read things and understand it for themselves, not
Hmm,
be influenced by some other kid's thinking, or what some other kid says, or
right.
what some other kid tells them to do, or not even bothered by a bully, right? And so, they just took out all the basics
Yeah,
and start teaching all this crazy stuff, and that's when that
right.
kid's so messed up.
Now I tell you how they took where we'll be taking this generation so many years back. They will not even know how to sign their own John Hancock.
They don't even know what John Hancock means.
Yeah, you're right.
Ask a, ask,
You're
yeah,
right. You're
that's
right.
true. That's true.
ask a
Yeah,
kid, what is your John Hancock? They won't know what you're talking about.
yeah. They don't.
You
You're
understand what I'm
right.
saying?
Well, well, getting back to Jim, he could probably talk about it if he was here, but sadly, he did have a chip implanted in him, and I think he said it's in his hand, but it's not working.
Oh, wow.
So
Why did it
you know,
stop?
so it never started working. What
Oh, my
happened
God.
was they told him that he have to go to therapy to learn how to do it, and then they totally reneged on having him go to therapy, and they just said, "Here, read this, and you're on your own." And so, who knows how much they charged that for that chip? And it's not even working in him, and he's been waiting to get it since 2013.
Oh, my
So,
God.
regarding this nano chip, um, 50,000 people have elected to have a subdermal chip inserted between the thumb and the index finger. So they've agreed to do that. And that was in January 23, 2023. And so James is also trying to, with Elon Musk, to get this chip. So he has already signed up for it. So let's just see what happens there. So
Yeah. You know, I don't know this to be a fact, but just me taking an educated guess. You know, any if you work for the government and you have to have any type of security clearance,
Hmm.
I think it is not going to even be optional for you not to have an implant. I think they're
Probably
going to
mhm,
make
not.
that mandatory. Yeah, it's probably mandatory at this point in time.
So
yeah.
James says that it costs thousands for both his devices. Two
Oh,
Hmm.
thousand for both devices was $2,000.
okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, let's take a little
That's a
break,
lot.
come back, and then we will we're at 35 minutes into the show, and we'll just touch on anything that's left, and then we're gonna get out of here, okay? All
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Appreciate that. Okay, guys, thank y'all for sticking with us and being with us, and the few of you that's there. I don't know. It must be something going on big on TV tonight, because we don't have anybody hardly, but I guess they'll catch us on the replay.
We
That's
got
all
eight.
right. Oh, okay. So you guys, thanks so much. The
Thank you,
rest
guys.
of them, they'll catch us on the replay when they go back to the workplace tomorrow. Okay. We'll be back. I could really use me one of those for tomorrow.
Uh,
All right.
Guess what?
So
James
what?
called me on the phone and he said that he made a mistake on that. Those two devices cost $20,000 and the
Ah,
insurance paid 18,000. So he had to pay out of pocket 2,000. That was
oh,
his share,
oh,
but it
that's
was 20,000
terrible.
for something that doesn't work.
Oh my
oh my,
God, that's terrible.
yeah, it is.
Oh,
Yeah, but not only that, he wanted me to mention, don't forget Elon Musk owns the Boring Company. I said, well, what's the Boring Company? He said, that's under Hollywood in Los Angeles. He's actually went underground and built a road underground. And in the hotel that I was staying in,
mm,
near the Roosevelt Hotel, it
mm,
actually caved in. It actually caved in because they were building a subway underneath it. And so I would have to worry. I got a really big discount on the rent. But
wow.
going up on the elevator, it was iffy. It
Mm,
was
My
always
God.
iffy.
wow.
Well,
Uh,
bless,
it's-
bless Elon then with his stuff.
well, he makes no so that maybe that was part of the reason my building fell in because of
Mm,
But
all
it
that stuff going on under the
sounds
under
like
the
it, doesn't it? It really
yeah.
does sound like it. Let me just say this: on my closing, it doesn't have anything to do with paranormal, but I guess it could. Guys, make sure that you get your antivirus software on your computer. If you haven't gotten any, don't. You have to be careful with the free ones that you see advertised. If you Google trying to find one free, make sure that you look at the reviews. Make sure you research it before you download it onto your computer, because there are a lot of scams going on now. They are coming at you in your email. They're coming at you through your social accounts, your platforms. They're
yeah,
coming at you through your text phone, your messages,
Yeah.
your messenger.
yeah, because
So,
Android issues, and be careful with this new Apple phone that's supposed to have Android technology, because they just came out that there was a big hack on Android phones. So maybe they'll be able to control us more and watch us and do everything and manipulate our
mhm.
phones. And we get
Yeah,
if
and that's
that.
what I wanted to tell James, that that's probably what happened to his computer. Reason why it blacked out, because James is always entering all these weird contests. Time somebody send him something, he's entering. You
Yeah,
cannot
that's
do that
true.
stuff. You can't do that stuff, James. That you,
But guess what his text said? He said that don't go. Facebook is the worst. He said for getting bugs and computer viruses. So he says if you go on social media, including Facebook, use your cell phone, not your laptop or
That's right.
computers.
I always use my cell phone, but I
Yeah.
also have an antivirus on my cell phone too.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you need to definitely go ahead and download the antivirus software on your
Yeah.
cell
Yeah.
phone. And it's okay to use a free one on your cell phone because those are usually better than trying to put a free one on your laptop or your computer. You really
Mm-hmm.
do need to just pay $20 for one for your computer or your laptop because laptops cost too much money, and desktops or whatever to replace. Phones do too, for that matter. But yeah, you got to protect yourselves. And what led me into saying what I really want to say before I said that was when Tim said that we have 8 that's showing in the chat room. We actually have more than that. Facebook this year, 2024, stopped calculating the views of broadcasts from other platforms. We broadcast on several other platforms like Twitter, Nextdoor,
Rumble.
uh, YouTube, they stopped letting those.
LinkedIn.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they stopped letting those views count. And
Oh.
the reason for that is because on every post that you post, and they've been doing this for some time, but they just now really they had not stopped counting the other, not they had not stopped showing the count of other places where people were watching your post or liked your post or watched your broadcast, whatever. They just put that to infected, and just before, right after Christmas, going into 2024. But if you look at something that you post on Facebook, you're gonna see them offering you a blue button that says boost post boost.
Yeah, they want to make money.
They
They don't
want to
want
make money
free.
off of you, so they make your views look low so that you can boost the post. I'm not boosting the post because my account's always coming in, and I can show my platforms. If I just want to show views, I can show them from my other platforms to show them that yeah, we still out here, we still exist, right? Regardless
Yeah.
as to how Facebook want to make us non-existent because we do exist.
Mhm.
So we don't worry about that. We're not in, we're not brainwashed that way. Okay, you can't
Mhm.
brainwash, and
Not
and I,
on
and
TV.
yeah,
Mhm.
but it's unfortunate that people. I mention it because I want people that's out there trying to be entrepreneurs, trying to be influencers, and start a business for themselves, by being influencers, trying to make some money that way. Since we are in a world of social media technology and influencing and content, don't be fooled by that. Don't fall in that
Yeah.
trap and Facebook because
One quick thing with YouTube that is happening to people too. I've been
it's,
hearing about that. They're not showing the views
you're
the
right.
way
You're
on
right.
YouTube either.
And it
Mhm.
doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Look, it doesn't matter because it's always it's always been cover-ups, and
Mhm.
that it's just that this is the first time that we can actually see it in living color and real
Yeah,
action.
it's
You
true.
know, so don't be fooled by that. Don't pay your money because people don't have money to pay for that.
Mhm.
Okay,
Right.
Facebook people don't have money to pay for that.
Yeah, I
Right.
know that's
You
right.
should not be not they should not target your average little low person, your average Joe. You know, target the big companies. I mean, you got
Yeah.
they put ads all over your feed. They getting
Mhm.
enough money. That's just being
Right.
outright not fair. And I guess
Mhm.
they say, well, you can walk away and not use it. Well, I can just stay and not use it.
You can walk away.
Yeah, true.
Right there, yeah.
Today is the first day I could actually post on groups, and they didn't do anything to
Yeah,
me. Because
right.
they're always doing stuff to me. That's why I don't even go on Facebook. Sometimes they go back into my past posts and they
I,
target them.
girl, look,
I got people watching me. I'm telling
Mm.
you, they're
they
watching.
look, they are removing some 30 seconds, 40 seconds, whatever, how many seconds that a song that an introduction will play on my old show. talk about angels. I'm getting a notification from administration. Sonny has removed so and so from your video because it may contain something they own. And I go and look and see what video they talking about. They talking about from my Sonny show, talk about angels from 1921, 19. I mean 2021 to 2022.
Mm.
Really? You just now
Well,
catching it?
Mark Zuckerberg's in court right now. Jim told me about it. Ziegler. He
Yeah,
says
him
he's in
and TikTok.
trouble for
Him and
allowing the posts that are killing the children with the drugs. He's
him
allowing
and
them.
all of them are in there. I saw a little bit of
Yeah,
it on see YouTube my go-to channel. I don't watch mainstream media. So I saw
mhm,
all of them in there. TikTok, YouTube, all of them in there. Of course, it's not just Mark. They got them all.
right. Right.
So,
Instagram gives me a hard time too. They
yeah,
tell
but
me
Facebook
I
owns
got too many
Instagram.
posts in my stories and they actually freeze me. So when I go in there, my stories are frozen
Yeah, that's
and stuff
Mark's.
like
That's
that.
Mark's. Mark on Instagram too.
Yeah, so he's
Yeah.
messing with my Instagram and my Facebook.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
I'm gonna learn TikTok. I'm gonna learn TikTok
That don't
seriously.
even bother me. That's the reason why I do not use the Facebook Live platform going live from Facebook. That's why I have
Hmm.
my own studio, okay? And it
Yeah.
doesn't matter if they cut the show on there. We still got it on other platforms. I can always upload it later. I
Yeah.
just
Don't depend on one platform. Believe me, people.
James say
Just
James
don't.
say they won't even let him go live. That's funny,
Oh, that's
James.
funny.
James said they
Wow.
won't let him go live. I know it's weird, but you know what? They ever get over themselves, okay?
Yeah.
Eventually.
I have a friend who's a Democrat, and she's been getting issues on her posts too on Facebook. So they're not just hitting the people who are pro Republican
So it's
either
not just
now.
Republicans, huh?
Yeah.
Well, who cares?
Mhm.
Life goes on. Life went on before Facebook,
Yeah.
far as I'm concerned, and my life
It
is gonna
did.
go
It
on.
definitely did. I was happy. I remember those days. I was good.
Yeah. Do y'all remember MySpace? Who remembers that?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I used to do a lot on that. A lot.
So
I
life
had a lot
goes
of
on.
followers. Yeah.
Life goes on, Mark. We love you, but life goes on, okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And with that, closing remarks, Tim.
Great show. Good information. Can't wait to do it again. Y'all be
Tomorrow. I can't wait to
Yeah,
talk
y'all be sure to
tomorrow.
tune in tomorrow because it's a lot going on.
Yes, indeed. Kathy.
Well, all I can say is if people have been chipped and not known about it, when all this technology does come about, and if we have a chip in us and we go to the airport, man, it's going to mess things up because let's just be
I think I
careful
might
about that
have
stuff.
one in me because every time I go through one of those
Yeah,
metal detector things,
it
uh,
could be.
it goes off,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
they look, and I don't have a belt, and
Yeah,
I don't wear underwear bras, so it's not
yeah.
underwear. And they can't figure out where it's coming from. And because I'm an old lady on a cane, they just tell me to go on through. Don't they,
But
Tim?
they
Tim has
also
been
say
with
that
me a couple of
Yeah,
times, right, Tim?
yeah,
They
yeah.
said it's gone through, lady, because they look at my purse, they look at me, they look at my ears, they look everywhere. They can't find it. So,
Yeah, but see,
uh,
the thing is, some of the people that I listened to said that the MRI people that do MRI, sometimes they won't even do it if you have a chip, but in other cases, they might be hiding certain chips that are in people and not even telling them because they have an agreement not to disclose that. So
well,
there's a
I
lot
think that mine
behind it.
came from my alien encounter, like yours, Kathy.
Yeah.
I think that's what mine is. Okay, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't know where it is. I really
Mm-hmm.
think that it's in my head because I have this pimple on my scalp that
Mm-hmm.
itches from time to time, and I had been meaning to go and see about it down through the years, but and it really didn't start bothering me until I say about 7 or 8 years ago. And yeah, and I was always kind of concerned about it because I didn't want it to be like cancer or something. And I said I probably needed to go check it out. But I think that might be where my alien encounter put that chip in from when my
Yeah.
stepsister and I saw that spaceship and Tim couldn't wake up, and I think they probably took us out for who knows how long, you know.
Well, real quick, there might be something in my brain because I had a CAT scan and there was a little spot in there that it's so small that they couldn't, and I went to neurologists and everything. So
Mhm.
I might have something in my
I
brain
still have
already
something there,
because,
yeah.
well, it
Well,
could even be a chip. It could, because they call it a cyst, but how do you know it's a cyst? And
yeah,
it's
that's
so
what I
small.
was thinking too. That this might be a cyst too, and that's why I wanted to get it checked out. But so far, I had never, just wanted to
Mhm,
do it. I mean, I just had
mhm,
never gotten around to doing it. And
right.
hi, Pumpkin. Thanks for joining in. You'll have to catch us on replay. We're getting ready to go out of here. All right, so
So,
look, come and join us tomorrow night, and that's our time. We'll see you guys. Thanks so much.
Good
all
night.
right.
Night, everybody. We love y'all.